everyone, welcome back to another episode of Friday First Cut series. I am Nidhi Manchanda, a certified financial planner and head of training and development at Fintu. In today's video, we will discuss about 5 different ways to invest in gold, and we will do a comparison between these 5 different ways so you can decide which one is best for you. Let's start. The first one is physical gold. It means buying gold jewelry, bullions, coins, basically what you can see and touch. Second option is gold ETF. It invests either in physical gold or stocks of companies engaged in gold mining or refining. Also please note, gold ETFs are traded on stock exchange just like stocks. The third option is gold mutual fund. It works on a fund of fund structure where the primary investment is made in gold ETF as an underlying asset. Here the portfolio consists of stocks of companies involved in gold mining, production and distribution. Fourth option is sovereign gold bonds. These are issued by RBI on the behalf of Government of India. Fifth option is digital gold. It means buying gold from mobile wallet platforms like Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, which have a tie-up with Safe Gold, Augment Gold, etc. Now let's start with the comparison. The first one is regarding Demat account. Now in case of only gold ETF, you will need a Demat account to invest. In all other options, Demat account is not required. Second point is related to purity. In physical gold, you can't be sure of the purity of gold, but in all other options, there will not be any issue regarding purity. Moving on to the expenses involved in all these 5 options. The first one, if you talk about physical gold, making charges could be up to 20 to 25%. If you talk about gold ETF, asset management fees and brokerage could be approximately 1%. In gold mutual fund, again the expense ratio could be around 1.5%. In case of sovereign gold bonds, there are no expenses as such. In case of digital gold, additional charges are applied for storage, insurance and trustee fees, which could be around 3%. Now let's talk about physical delivery. In case of physical gold, of course you will get the physical gold in hand, and in case of gold ETF also physical delivery is possible. But in case of gold mutual fund and sovereign gold bonds, no physical delivery is there. In case of digital gold, you will have to mandatorily take the physical delivery of gold after a specified time period, say 5 years, and if you do not take the physical delivery, you will have to sell the gold or you will have to pay extra charges. Next point is risk of theft. Now apart from physical gold, no other options will have a risk of theft or the gold cannot be stolen. Only in case of physical gold this risk will be present. Next point of comparison is liquidity. Now in case of SGB bonds, there is a lock-in period of 5 years and the maturity will happen after 8 years. Apart from SGB bonds, all other options do not have any lock-in period and you can actually withdraw and redeem your investment anytime. So it is highly liquid. Now let's talk about minimum and maximum investment in all these 5 options. First is physical gold, so there is no limit on minimum and maximum. If we talk about gold ETF, minimum is 1 gram and maximum there is no limit. Gold mutual fund, minimum is 500 or 1000 and maximum again there is no limit. If we talk about SGB bonds, minimum is 1 gram and maximum is 4 kgs. And talking about digital gold, you can invest with as low as 1 rupee and again in maximum there is no limit. Moving on to the most important part, that is returns. Now if we talk about returns, in case of physical gold, gold ETF, gold mutual funds and digital gold, you only get capital gains and there is no interest income. But in case of SGB bonds, along with capital gains, you also get 2.5% per annum interest payable semi-annually. After knowing the returns, it is important to understand how much tax you are supposed to pay on these investments. Now here in this case, let's first discuss about SGB bonds. In case of SGB bonds, at the time of maturity, capital gains are exempt from tax. That is, you do not have to pay any tax on capital gains on maturity. On the other hand, the interest income that you receive is fully taxable. Now talking about taxation of all other ways to invest in gold, that is physical gold, gold ETF, gold mutual fund and digital gold, it's similar taxation rule, which is short-term capital gain tax and long-term capital gain tax. Short-term capital gain tax is as per your slab rate and long-term capital gain tax is 20% with indexation benefit. Now you might have a question, what is short-term and long-term? Now in case of gold investment, it is treated as 36 months. So if you sell your investment within 36 months, short-term capital gain tax will be applicable. And if you sell your investment after holding it for 36 months, then long-term capital gain tax will be applicable. Now let's see whether you'll have to pay GST or not. In case of physical gold and digital gold, you'll have to pay a GST of 3%. In all other options, GST is not applicable. Next point is availability. Except for SGB bonds, all other options are easily available to invest throughout the year. But in case of SGB bonds, you can invest only when the issue comes up, which is usually every 1 to 3 months. Last point of difference is related to the regulation. So physical gold and digital gold are not at all regulated. If you talk about gold ETF and gold mutual fund, these are regulated by SEBI. And in case of SGB bonds, it has a sovereign guarantee. These were the points of difference and similarity among all the 5 different options to invest in gold. Now moving on to understand what should you do and where should you invest. Now the recommendation part here is SGB, that is sovereign gold bond, is considered to be the best investment for the gold. Major reason is because you get additional interest and capital gain tax is exempt. So you can invest into SGB bonds if you have an investment tenure of 8 years. But if you have an investment tenure of less than 8 years or you want to invest for a short term, then you should opt for gold ETFs or gold mutual funds. On the other hand, if you talk about physical gold and digital gold, they should be completely avoided. You can buy gold jewelry only if you want to wear it, but not for investment purpose. I hope this video was useful. For any further query, feel free to get in touch with our finance experts. And for more such videos, do subscribe to our channel.